Now, former County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher issues a public resignation letter. Why a crisis communicator tells us it's too detailed.
Plus, a much different picture at the border tonight, where there are now fewer migrants.
Record rain, a super bloom, and healthy bees.
And wait until you see this special surprise waiting for a teacher behind that curtain.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts now.
August 15th, that's the date for a special election for a new county supervisor to replace Nathan Fletcher, who, as of 5:01 tonight, just about an hour ago, is no longer a supervisor. Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Carlo Cicchetto.
I'm Marcella Lee. Fletcher released a lengthy resignation letter this morning, and this afternoon, Supervisor Nora Vargas announced what's next for the people in his district. Tonight, CBS 8's Anna Laurel joins us live from the County Administration Building, where Supervisor Vargas just spoke. And Anna, I know you also spoke with a crisis communicator today about Fletcher's letter.
Yeah, I did. She looked at the letter. We looked at it together. She says she believes that Nathan Fletcher's constituents were owed some kind of closure from him, but she does think that letter is a little long and has too many details because so many facts are still unknown. Facts we did learn this afternoon from Supervisor Vargas: that special election is August 15th, and it will cost taxpayers $2 million.
I want to make sure that the constituents of District 4 know that our county is still here for them and to support them.
Supervisor and chair of the board, Nora Vargas, says she did not speak to Nathan Fletcher today, but she does want to speak to the 700,000 people who live in his former District 4, from Lemon Grove and Claremont to Balboa Park and University Heights to Rolando and Spring Valley.
My goal is to get out there and remind people that there is an election happening on August 15th and that it's extremely important that their values are part of whoever is going to be their next representative.
Back in March, just days after news of a sexual harassment and sexual assault lawsuit broke, San Diego County Supervisor Nathan Fletcher announced he would resign May 15th, and today he released this letter. He starts out saying, "I own unequivocally the responsibility for making the mistake of engaging in consensual interactions with someone outside of my marriage. And while I strenuously deny the allegations you have no doubt heard levied against me, I apologize for letting down so many people important to me." Gail Falkenthal is a public relations consultant for big names around San Diego County. I asked her what she thinks of Nathan's messaging.
I see in that letter some tension between what Nathan may want to say and what his attorneys tell him at this point, given the pending lawsuit, he shouldn't say.
She points out the shift in tone in Nathan's second paragraph. It reads, "You put your faith in me as your elected representative, and I let you down. For that, I am truly sorry." Then the very next sentence talks about the legal allegations. He starts with, "regarding the accusations against me."
It's a lot for one letter to get all of that in there.
So how does Gail think Nathan has handled his crisis?
We aren't going to really know how he's handled it until we see what the future rolls out for him.
As for the future of his former district,
This special election is extremely important and we need them all to get out and vote.
yeah, Supervisor Vargas says there's still about $500,000 in grant money that needs to be allocated to someone or some group in that District 4. So that special election, very important, of course. She did tell us, even though that special election we know now will cost $2 million, she did not know the cost of Fletcher's medical leave or other county benefits. Live out here at the County Administration Building, I'm Anna Laurel for CBS 8. Carlo?
Anna, so much going on here. In his resignation letter, Nathan Fletcher goes into some detail, you mentioned, about the accusations made against him and says they are false. What are you hearing about that?
Yeah, you know what? Just late this afternoon, we got a statement.
Unfortunately, we're having some technical problems and have lost Anna. That's Anna Laurel reporting live from downtown. Thanks, Anna.
Today, a jury convicted a man of murdering his girlfriend in National City. Prosecutors say Neri Roberto Garcia killed Fabiola Calderon back in July of 2021 and then dumped her body across the border. Calderon was reported missing after she didn't show up for work. Garcia was later arrested in City Heights. He was also found guilty of attempted murder and domestic violence in 2 other incidents involving Calderon. The scene at the U.S.-Mexico border is much different today than it was just last week.
the crowd of people at the border hoping to seek asylum that we've been showing you is gone.
Immigration experts say the number of migrants at the border after Title 42 is not as high as the government expected. CBS 8's Jesse Pagan is here now to explain where the migrants went and what we can expect moving forward. Jesse?
Hey guys, CBP picked up the groups of people for processing yesterday, and they're now going through the different steps of that. Meantime, CBP says the actual number of people now trying to seek asylum at the border is lower than they expected, but people are still showing up.
We are accompanying 3 families that are from Mexico that come from Michoacan who are trying to apply for asylum here at the port of entry, which they are allowed to do.
Nicole Ramos is an attorney with Al Otro Lado's Border Rights Project, which offers free legal help for people seeking asylum. She says she and her group waited 4 hours at the San Isidro port of entry after officers told them a supervisor needed to see them to start the process. She says they're hopeful, but no, it might not happen.
Working against these officials for as many years as we have on the border and being realistic, we don't believe that a supervisor will ultimately come out, and eventually we might have to leave.
Meanwhile, the part of the border wall in San Isidro we've been showing you crowded with people is now empty. We're told CBP officials moved groups of people throughout Sunday for processing.
Approximately, I would say there were between 300 to 400 people that the agency picked up from here and took them over to the port of entry.
You've seen Pedro Rios before. He's a director of the American Friends Service Committee and has been at the border nearly every day leading up to Title 42's end.
It's much better than having people staying in the open air, subject to the cold, sometimes rain or the sun, without much food or water.
Rios says a contractor is going to clean up what's left behind. Back at the port of entry, Nicole waits with her group of families, still trying to cross.
They've been very patient, and they should not be expected to wait 1 day longer.
But that seems that's going to be what they're going to have to do. I heard from Nicole late this afternoon. She says a supervisor did not come out and they did eventually leave. As for the Afghan national officers arrested after finding out he was on the FBI's terror watch list, he is in jail tonight. Guys, a lot of stuff's still happening down there.
I guess the good news as of now is that the humanitarian situation that we watched last week, people camping out overnight with bare minimal shelter, sleeping on rocks, that's alleviated, but we can see things still not going quickly for the people trying to gain asylum.
Nope, Title 42 ending was not the end. It was the page turn to a whole nother chapter involving our immigration policies.
So we'll have to see what happens as they get processed, but at least for now, like we've been talking about, they're out of the elements. Thank you so much, Jesse. A police chase ended abruptly near Waterfront Park when the driver crashed. Police say they tried to pull over the car at the corner of Pacific Highway and West Harbor Drive just before 1:30 this afternoon. Instead, they say the driver took off, making it about half a mile to Ash Street before crashing into another car. The driver was arrested. A bystander was injured and treated there at the scene.
Tennessee Representative Justin Jones met with California lawmakers today.
You may remember he made national headlines when he was expelled from the Tennessee state legislature after calling for gun reform on the chamber floor. Our political reporter Morgan Reiner has reaction tonight from both sides of the aisle.
It's not unusual for California to call out other red states. Our governor does it on a daily basis. But this time, the Assembly Republican leader stood up in support, saying, "Practice what you preach. Listen to the minority party in your state."
Tennessee State Representative Justin Jones honored on the California Assembly floor Monday afternoon. Jones and his colleague Justin Pearson were both expelled from the legislature for protesting for more gun safety laws after the school mass shooting in Nashville. Their colleague, Rep. Gloria Johnson, was not expelled for participating.
They thought they could bury us underneath their system, but what they really did was water and plant seeds that are flourishing in this nation of a movement.
The local districts in Tennessee voted to reinstate the two. Thousands of miles away from his district, he said California plays a role.
This issue is not just a single state issue. It's not an issue of one community, but we see what happened in Island, Texas. We see what is going on here in our own communities with the everyday gun violence that we're facing.
Lawmakers then voted on a resolution to denounce Tennessee's actions. Republican Assembly Leader James Gallagher stood up in support.
The message of Representative Jones is not just for Tennessee. It's for you. It's for everybody in this room. He's in the super minority in Tennessee. He's trying to get his ideas heard. He's passionate about them. I am too. You know, I'm about ready to get a megaphone and come onto this floor when it comes to these crisis issues like wildfire and fentanyl and kids dying every week, right now as we speak, and not seeing the urgency that I think is needed. That's not really my style, but I guess I can expect if I do, I hope that you guys live up to your preaching.
Gallagher and Republicans didn't ultimately vote for the resolution to pass, but they didn't vote against it either.
So what exactly is Jones calling for in Tennessee and beyond? Universal background checks, a ban on high-capacity magazines, more red flag laws. California already has all of those in place. Now, while California definitely still sees gun violence and mass shootings, according to the CDC, California has one of the lowest firearm mortality rates, while Tennessee is near the top.
Thank you, Morgan. Still ahead, the city of San Diego may owe you money tonight.
Plus, is Google really getting rid of passwords? We verify.
We had some May gray going strong closer towards the coast. You're talking about those low-level clouds, but we're also talking about some high clouds and potentially even seeing some thunderstorms by in the afternoons in the week ahead. All those details coming up.
And up next, a teacher is under scrutiny for the Disney movie that she showed her 5th graders.